Oh, hopefully this works. Hi everybody. Happy Wednesday. Yeah, I've been trying really hard to get these videos out. I promised I have been. I had all those, really doing a bulk recording seems to be what works really well for me. The problem is I don't have the downtime to do the bulk recording all at once. And so, like, that worked really well while I was gone in Seattle. You guys actually got videos on the regular, more consistent than probably when I'm here. And then since I got back early Friday morning in the AM, in the early AM, I've just been a mess. So it was a long week. I tried desperately Monday. I had footage for a color and chat, and I tried to do that color and chat, and I did really good until up close to the end. And so imagine a closet, and imagine the type of closet that you just shove everything into when company's coming over to do like the 10-minute clean, where you just shove it in there. The pile keeps getting bigger and bigger. You never go back to that closet. You just keep shoving stuff in there, and the pile keeps getting up to the top of the closet. Okay, now imagine trying to go into that closet looking for something, and you find it about halfway through that pile, and you go to pull it out, and as you pull that thing object out, like, all that column of stuff starts to fall out of the closet onto you. And so you're scrambling to shove it all back in and shove the door shut. And you're like, when I open that door again, it's just all going to fall out, right? That is my current vibe. That is my current mental state. I have been so busy. There's been so much happening, with Sidonia and Scamper passing away. We had a health scare within my family that I haven't talked about yet. The trip to Seattle for work. Had a major project that I spent hours and hours on for like a month. Even my husband has barely seen me. I've been in here working so much, and so much choppy waters at work with a lot of different things happening. And I don't want to go into too much detail, but it's not felt very secure since I started there. And just all this has piled on. And I've been shoving all this in the closet, and that pile's been getting higher. And so Sunday I attempted to talk about what happened with Scamper, because I haven't really went in detail about that. And I thought I could do it, but that was the piece I pulled out that made the pile start to fall out. And I had to stop. And I I went ahead and rendered the video like I was going to upload it, but I mean, y'all, I was bawling. It was terrible. I went in the living room, and my husband instantly was like, "What is wrong?" And I'm like, "I poked the bear. I poked the pile, and it tried to overwhelm me and drown me." This is why I talk so much about mental health on here, because I learned what 25 years of doing that will do to you, because I went through that for 2 years of cleaning out that closet. And the only way I've been able to survive, really, the last 6 or 7 months is to start pushing stuff back in the closet. And it is not sustainable. It's not sustainable long term. I do not recommend. I do have a therapist, and we talked about it, and she's like, sometimes you got to do that temporarily just to get through a situation, but like, I got to start unpacking that closet because it's not sustainable, as I could see when I instantly tried to deal with something in that closet. It all kind of drowned me. Anyway, sorry, that's a lot of intro to what is a flip through. As you can see, I will probably put a text description in the front of this to say I chat a bit. I always put jump links in the description, by the way. If there are only specific books here you want to see, I do put the jump links for that in the description, because I'm not going to make you guys sit through the whole video if you really just want to see one book. I like to do these in bulk. I do not have time to do a separate flip through And I would never do good at select videos because I just want to flip through all of them. So this is the best way. It's worked for me for 5 years. So I'm going to continue to do so, but I try to make it as easy as possible. So if you guys only want to see certain books, you don't have to sit through everything. Anyway, I will put a jump link in the description so you can just go ahead and go to the books. But anyway, I attempted to do this on Sunday, and like I said, I was successful the first half of the video, and then I started getting into some sad subjects and starting to unpack stuff, and oh boy, howdy, it went bad. So Monday was hard and really bad, and yesterday was pretty hard. Getting back into work after a 4-day weekend. So yeah, just as a heads up, the plan for the rest of the week, Friday, I have more books to flip through. Actually have a number of books that I picked up from Etsy. Friday's going to be kind of like an Etsy flip through. I have 4 right now. I might get more before then, but if I don't, no big deal. I have a big shipment from 70 East Books that is on its way to California as we speak. Who knows when that's going to get here. But except for pre-orders, as of right now, other than that 70 East Books, I don't think I have anything else I've bought. So, which is probably good. But anyway, okay, so let's get to the books because I may have to pause this and then come back to it because I don't think I'm going to get through all these books in time. Okay, but we'll try. So I have three new releases for y'all. And then a couple books I picked up because I like how they look. And the last book is a bit controversial. And I'll explain when we get there. That's why I'm saying I probably won't be able to get this done. I mean, we know I like to talk. So, alright, anyway. I say all that to say there should be a flip through on Friday. Sunday will probably be completed pages. There's not going to be many that aren't colored by number. If I could decide to wait and combine it with June and do a color and chat Sunday. So there's a possibility. But we'll see. But more than likely you're going to see completed pages on Sunday. So just a heads up, that's the plan. After that, I don't know yet, but that's where I'm looking. Okay, so let's get through the new releases here. So this one, I can't remember where I saw this. Might have been Coloring Queen. I always get them. Or was it Color with Clare? I always end up saying one when I mean the other, and I don't mean to. Anyway, somebody had this on a pre-order list, like upcoming. And I was very intrigued because y'all know how much I love watercolor. As little as I get an opportunity to use it. And this is a new release, Woodland Watercolor, a coloring workbook. And the cool thing about this is it's printed on 200 GSM watercolor paper. So very exciting. Like I said, here lately, I've really enjoyed reaching into some books that have some good quality paper, and I'm really eager to play around with them. I still, don't get me wrong, I still love my tried and true Amazon books and will never stop buying those. But good paper does make the whole process a lot easier when you're using water mediums. It makes it a whole lot less headache. Not always. Like Hannah Carl's and I tend to like using satin glazing liquid, even though the paper is a little better quality because the paper is very textured and water media dries quickly on it, and I prefer to have more blendable time. Anyway, so that's what's cool about this, is on watercolor paper, and it's a coloring book. Like, you just don't see these very often. And it's woodland creatures, which is one of my favorite things in the world. So all the good things. Clare, hopefully I'm saying that right, Clare Therese Gray, I believe she's on Instagram too. I will put her handle out there. We get right into the book. And this paper, y'all. Oh, look at that. I don't know if you guys can see that rough watercolor texture. Now, this book is a little smaller than your standard size coloring book. So, for instance, some are mandalas. But it doesn't bother me a bit. So I'm really curious. I would love to do, of course, I'll do a page in full watercolor at some point. This will be great for watercolor summer. Do a page in here that's all watercolor, and then maybe try some pencils on top where it's really textured. I think some of my harder color pencils might come in handy. Isn't that cute? Different types of eggs. That's cool. Boy, that mallard egg is huge. I'd be really curious to see what all the different like colors and textures are. And it's single-sided. And it's single-sided. So even if you don't want to use watercolor, now granted it is rough texture paper, so it probably will be pretty rough on alcohol markers. However, if you still want to use them, might be able to. I don't know. Watercolor paper absorbs like the way it works. I don't know how well alcohol markers does on watercolor paper. That would be a good test. But maybe, right? Oh, it's so cute with the otters. But I love that. I love it's still single-sided. I feel like even with the watercolor paper, probably if you really, really want to like go full watercolor on this, it would have been hard to make it double-sided. So I do appreciate that. But aren't these pictures cute? Look at the snake. I don't like snakes. Snakes. I can never say it accurately in real life anymore. I don't love snakes in real life, but I do love them in coloring books. I appreciate the snakes. See, look, I can't say it. But you got like full forest scenes. You got little objects, like if you were out taking a hike. One of the things my husband and I like to do, it's a little bit harder these days, but one of the things my husband and I like to do is hike. And we used to, back before I got real sick, like we used to do really good big hikes. And like we're actually building up pretty good. And now I have to really stick to like paved paths and easy paths. And it's one of the things I've kind of had to give up. Because it's like if the inflammation in my hips and my legs don't get me in my knees, then the fatigue will. And I don't want to be halfway through a difficult hike because my husband's not going to be able to drag me out. Ooh, fox. So you have some smaller scenes as well. You've got the full-size page, but then you've got smaller objects that you could really practice some watercolor with. This, I bet, would go great. Oh my gosh, I had to find it. Give me just a second. Oh, the squirrels. I love this picture. I know what would go really good with this book. We're going to get through like 2 books, and then I'm going to have to come back. It's very... That watercolor paper is thick, y'all, but there's a lot of pictures in this book, too. It's not a tiny book by any means. So... bunch of fun guys, if you will. Insect garden even tells you the different types. Not a fan of the spider, but he is rather small. I don't think she put a wasp in here, so that's acceptable. Yeah. Ooh, there was a real big pretty moth that was on one of my window screens a couple summers ago. And that was the first time that I had, well, at least in my recollection, that I'd ever seen one of those large moths, like the really just like just beautiful ones. Or, I don't know how to explain them. Like opposed to the little tiny just tan moths, like the sucker had like, this sucker was chonky. It was a chonky moth. And had just a really cool wing pattern. Love that picture. pigeons. Well, maybe not. Maybe they're doves. I don't know. Make me think of the big fat pigeons that love our feeder out here. And the cats love. Leroy really loves the pigeons. Like, he likes any of the birds, but he really likes the pigeons, y'all. Like, I guess because they're big and fat birds, like, he is a big fan. A big fan of the birds and the pigeons. Isn't that a pretty book? Let me tell you what would go good with this. And I just bought it. Would be this one. The Watercolor with Me in the Forest. So, like, a lot of the themes in this book are similar in here. So you could use this book for some of the animals and plants and stuff like that. Right? See, there's a moth. There's a moth right there. So you could, that would be cool. Like, these, I feel like, go together really well. So, super stoked about that one. And I wanted to kind of show that one first because I don't think a lot of people know about it. And just like I said, I feel like it's so unique because it's on watercolor paper. So, Watercolor Summer, I really should be diving into that book. I hope I can. Why is my color, the color of my, wait a minute, that's a little better. Okay, hang on. Okay. Okay, so I can keep going. Excellent. All right. Summer Mandalas is the latest release from Alexandra Franzese. This is an Amazon book. I think I have all of her seasonal mandalas. Maybe I don't. I have to go back and look. Anyway, this is her newest one. Amazon printed. She does have an Etsy store where she prints some of the images. Like, she offers some of the images in like a bulk package, but I don't think it's the entire book. And there's probably reasons for that, but woo. Is it just me? Or maybe it's because I just went through that watercolor paper. This feels a little thinner to me. Like, you can actually see the print on the other side, and usually I can't. Oh my gosh. Well, there's gonna be probably my first picture in the book. The cat's hiding behind the leaves. That's cute. Worst case, I can try to figure out my printer and just, if the Amazon paper just gets to the point where I can't deal with it, I can always print this out on like cardstock. So, but I'm still gonna try. Like, for basic marker and, you know, a little bit of pencil or something like that, I've usually been pretty good with Amazon. I just wonder because they did the price increase recently. So if you're not aware, most of your Amazon artists, I'm not saying all of them do. You have to like check your individual artist on this, but they increased the price of the books on the Amazon side. And because of that, to be able to continue making these books and you know, earn money from these books, a lot of the artists had to raise their prices like by $1 or $2. It was a pretty significant jump. And the reason why I wonder about the paper is just, you know, it would be about right if you increase the price of the book on your side and then like the paper is less quality or something. So that would be about right. Is it just one? Hang on. Is it just one or all of them? Yay! Awesome. Sorry. Y'all are like, what are you talking about? It's a story. It's a story probably for a color in chat. That's good news today. So, But it would be about right that they would lower the quality of their paper at the same time that they increase the price. No, a company wouldn't do that. Surely not. I'm not saying they did, so don't run off and say, Michelle gets a Caboodles head this time. No, I'm not saying for sure. I can't tell you until I actually start coloring on the paper whether there's a difference or not. And even then, I couldn't tell you for sure, like, they were using 60-pound paper before and now they're using 50-pound or something. Like, unless I knew somebody for sure that knew that, like a publisher or, you know, an artist or something, I'm not going to say that. But if the paper colors differently, I will tell you. And that will be all I can tell you, that they are using different paper. These are really cute. And don't get me started on the fact that they keep going after publishing groups. Now Coloring Book Cafe and their sister group Morgana Sky are having issues, just like Coco Wyo. And it's concerning to me because right now they're going to these groups that are publishing groups. What if they start going to the individual artists and doing this? Like, some of y'all are like, oh, well, I don't buy anything from them anyway. Yeah, but you may buy it from these other artists that publish on Amazon, and if they continue to get away with doing what they're doing, then it will sooner or later impact self-publishing on Amazon. And so you should be aware and you should be concerned. Because there's no concrete, other than the resolution with Jade Summer, there's been no absolute concrete, this is what happened. People are speculating, but nobody from Amazon and nobody from these publishing companies has come forward and said our account was deactivated due to X. So if you hear anything, well, as of May 31st at 3 o'clock Central, I'm not even going to talk about all the possibilities at this point because, again, I don't want people saying, well, I heard this and I heard that, and like I'm an authority on it. I don't know. I just know it's concerning me. Here's a bonus page from Spring Mandalas. And again, I will put in my, if you do, one thing that would probably help, I'm not sure if it certainly wouldn't hurt, but one thing that would help is on your favorite artists, go leave reviews on their books on Amazon. That helps their visibility. That helps probably with that helps with their visibility. That helps probably with their branding and everything like that. It also helps with the flood of new books, coloring books from AI into the market. It does help their visibility. So again, I encourage, go leave reviews when you can, and you know, post complete pictures and things like that. So there's my plug for that. That's one thing you can do as a fan of these artists. Last new release on here, Moonlight Mischief from RJ Hampson. That lovely matte finish he puts on his books. Just love it. Also Amazon printed. Oh, I love his little bandit mask there. I've not even seen flip throughs on this one yet. I've been so busy. So sorry. Just doing a check. Nope, that's more blurry. That's more blurry. I've been really having a devil of a time getting a sharp focus on my books. There we go. I don't, what setting is that? I don't know, but I'm not touching it again. That's close enough. All right. 25 images. I love that he names all his images. Oh, there's the bandit bunny with his carrot. Oh, he's about to get caught. Busted. Yep. Boy, I need one of those. Just set my mattress up there. The sleeping tree. I like the sound of that. Love this. Love the just, I don't know how to explain it. It's all like, well, not all. Well, yeah, it's all night themed, of course, because it's Moonlight, Michelle. Love that one. That's so funny. That cat's hanging on for dear life. Larry visits the Oracle. Starcatcher. Oh, well, they've got the one. Where are the others though? Oh, that's cute. That is cute. Oh my gosh. That is so cute. Adorable. He looked less than enthused by those kiddos. Kittos. Oh, I love these. I don't know. This might be my favorite one of his so far. What is he doing out there? Yield hunt. Oh my gosh. That's not just babysitting. That's... I swear, today has been a day of random vehicles, and I am the nosy neighbor. That's not even babysitting. That's her 24/7. That'd be cool. Just, you want to just do the light right here, and then just maybe like a nice, this would be fun to play with shades, like shading in the different levels. Oh my gosh. I would like to see RJ Hampson do a space book. That is very, very cool. Love that. She doesn't seem that concerned. They must all be friendly. It makes me think a little bit of you know that old movie Drop Dead Fred? Yeah. Watch that movie way more. Like that's a movie it just, was it Drop Dead? Yeah, it had Fred Savage in it. I'm pretty sure. That's a movie it's a whole lot weirder as an adult than it was when I was younger. Sky Pirate. Love it. Oh, and then we got our second set of pages. Oh, there's the kiddos again. Well, that one looks all fierce. So second set of images. Oh, oh no, he didn't. Oh, no, he didn't. No, he didn't. Subtle changes in a black background. Okay. Yep. My favorite. My favorite of RJ Hampson's, without a doubt. Oh, and I got a good printing with a nice, crisp black background. Oh my gosh, y'all. I can't. I would have just flipped through these. Heck, I might just have to flip through them anyway to show y'all the difference. Isn't that beautiful? Oh my gosh. Love it. I know there are some people that don't like black background images, but this is my jam. This is my jam. I would have never thought to do that myself. Like just the little pocket of nighttime there. Like all this other stuff could be clouds. That's such a clever idea. Ooh, it's good crisp. Look at that. Oh, that made my day a little better. Faux show. Made my day a lot better. Oh my gosh, and a little sprinkle of stars in some of these. Yeah, there's usually no reason to flip through both sets of images, right? But this is just perfect. And some of these stars, I could have so much fun with like the little solar pop type gel pens, the neons and stuff. Oh my gosh. Awesome. I really lucked up with this printing. I would have been so disappointed had I looked at this and it would have had the like the line through it sometimes you get with the black printing, or it's more of like a dark gray. But that is just, that's some crispiness right there. Crispy. Amazing. Yes, easily my favorite of his so far. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, give me just a second. All right. So, two more books. We'll do this one, though I'll just show you a few pictures in it because they're all a bunch of squares. I know I got another color by number book that's squares and another Sachin Sachdeva book. But I couldn't help it. I kept seeing you guys post pictures from this one and it looked really pretty. So Mosaic Art Landscapes, color by color, 3 by 3. Millimeters is not right. I don't know what that's supposed to be. Anyway, my brain is not braining right now. Amazon printed book. Included preview images of each page, a 24 color palette. You can try cross stitch method by putting a cross on the corresponding colors and numbers. Oh, okay, so it shows you like a little mini picture. So kind of like the Alice Mills books do, which is pretty cool. I tend to like the surprise ones, but because these are such large images, I kind of appreciate that because you probably would rather just color the, the ones you would like first. So you get like a little preview. That's cool. I can dig that. So all these little boxes have numbers, and then of course your numbers are over here. It's a 24 color palette. Probably mustard. Mustard is not. What the heck is a mustard? I mean, I know what the mustard color is, but like that looks new to me. Purple and violet are really close to each other in here. Interesting. So there's some changes to the palette. Which, ooh, I like this one a lot. I might do this one first. which I don't necessarily mind, but see, I like that one too. Oh my gosh, that one only uses like 6 colors. That's pretty cool. So it only shows you the colors you're using. Okay. I can dig it. I guess I will show you these because it shows you, sort of, if you squint, what the finished pages look like. It's a variety of things in here. I really like Sachin's books because I like that he tries different things. Like, he just doesn't, he puts out books in series that are popular, which, as he should. Like, we all love this, well, most, a lot of us like the stained glass series, but I also like that he tries new things as well. Like, there was a series of books he put out that, I don't think I've gotten one yet, but they were like, I don't know how to explain them. It was a color by number though, and it was something different, and I really liked that he was trying something a little different. Kind of like where Kira Sachdeva did the color by colors. I liked that real well. You know, I don't know. I'm just always amazed at the creativity of people as a whole. And even when you get locked into doing, well, not that he's locked in because he does versions of these, he does versions of his books without color by number versions. And, but, you know, being a color by number artist to some point, I appreciate the ones that kind of can think outside the box a little bit and try some different stuff. So I feel like, especially like with his books and some of the different things he does, I feel like it's a good idea to leave feedback on everybody's books, but in particular, paper cut art. That was what I was trying to think of. I might get the Halloween one of those. But, yeah, he tries so many different things. He got like, mystery circles, collection books, doodle in color. I don't even know if I know anything about those. Huh. So there you go. Ooh, yes, this was nice, crisp. Look at that. If only, you know, for the prices they continue to charge for paper books and things like that, and the price increases, you would think the least they could do is ensure that when their books are supposed to print black, that they're crisp and consistent. You would think. Anyway, all right, last book, bit controversial. And you're like, what are you talking about, Michelle? Because that's what I would have told you about a week ago. So I talked, but see, that's the thing. I love learning about stuff, and sometimes I am. There are times I am fully ignorant about certain situations and certain things, and you know, as long as people do it in a educational way and not screaming at someone, it's amazing what you can learn if you're open to learning and doing better, I guess. Because not all of us know everything about everything, right? All right, so Bob Ross, you're like, what are you talking about, Michelle? We all, well, a lot of us adore Bob Ross stuff. I even have another book by his brand, and um, Tammy and I were talking about this, and she had found this, and she's like, this is like easy George Tufexis. Like, if you don't want to do complex George Tufexis color by number, that's a lot like Bob Ross's stuff is a lot, it's not as complex, right? And this looked really cool. Plus, Thunder Bay Press prints this, and I like a number of their books. Is this the one that has the fold-out palette? Yes, it does. And so I always love that. Anyway, loved the idea of the book. Ordered it. And then, I don't know if she wants me to say her name or not, but I mentioned it in one of my other videos that was coming up. And somebody had mentioned to me that I should watch the Bob Ross documentary on what happened with, you know, like his brand and everything after he passed away. And that it's, you know, controversial because none of his family's getting any royalties or anything from his brand or anything that is selling based on his brand. And so I didn't watch the documentary, but I did go do some digging. Actually went through a legal law site, which I felt would give the most non-biased explanation of the situation. And I guess y'all are going to learn something today too. So originally, Bob Ross and his wife had entered into a partnership with two other people. He was going to be the face and name of the brand, but they were forming a partnership. I believe it was, now this, I believe, was due to he wanted to do this, but he didn't have the real financial backing to do it. And so I think the partners had more of the financial backing. And so then he was going to be the face and do all the things and the painting and be the public face of it. So they entered into this partnership. And I don't know what type of agreement it was or whatever, but when his wife passed away, they all had equal share in the company. And when his wife passed away, suddenly the agreement was that if somebody passed away, their share would be divided up equally amongst the remaining partners. And in that happening, he suddenly found himself without a majority share in the partnership or agreement, what have you. I went through all this in class in college, and you can tell this really stuck with me, right? Like, is it a company, is it a partnership? I can't quite remember. Anyway, so, but that was part of the agreement they had chose. So he was diagnosed with lymphoma or something. He was diagnosed with cancer. He was upset because the way the agreement was, once he passed away, then the remaining shares would go to the other two partners, and they would assume 100% complete control, right, of his name and his brand and all of his royalties and trademarks and things like that. And so he tried through his estate. He couldn't get the original partner agreement changed, so through his estate agreement, he tried to leave his name and royalties and all that to his son. And so when he did pass away, like the partners sued the estate because of that. It went to court. Court was like, you can't undo an original partner type agreement with a state, uh, like a will or what have you, was the basic nutshell of it. In terms of the law, you can't undo an original partner agreement with this other agreement you made over here in your will or in your estate planning. That was the gist of it. The way the agreement was set up and the way he tried to circumvent it were just not legal in the manner of the court. So unfortunately, none of his family, like, the Bob Ross brand continues to be a thing. So, like, none of the royalties, any of that goes to his family, which is a shame. And I agree with the person who commented about this, that it makes, like, the whole situation just seems sad to me. Like, I feel like the original agreement shouldn't have been set up that way. That should have been set up in a different way, but maybe he was just limited in his choices at the time. Over time, it should have been modified, and it wasn't. Again, who knows why? But I feel kind of torn here because I'm like, if the partners really did bring the financial backing to this, like, I feel like they do have a genuine, and that's what the original agreement was. I get that side, but then I also just feel kind of skeeved out that his family doesn't see, like, they could have done something, right? They could have been like, just out of the goodness of their heart, like, hey, well, because I'm sure they're making plenty of money. They could have done something ethically. So in the eyes of the law, it was right, but in the eyes of, like, ethically, morally, it feels skeevy, right? Like, it feels uncomfortable. It feels, blah. I don't like it. So I'm going to flip through this book, and I'm going to keep this book, and I'm going to keep my other book, but I probably won't buy anything else Bob Ross themed in the future because of this, just because to me, the whole situation just, it feels sad, right? Like, the whole thing just feels sad. Like, I don't know. It just, yeah, it's interesting from like a law perspective, but like I don't know. Like I said, it's not necessarily wrong in the eyes of the law, but as a person, it just makes me feel icky, right? It just makes you feel icky. So that's going to be my plan for the future. However, just wanted to let y'all know. So before I flip through this book, so you make your own decisions. Everybody's grown. You're grown. Grown folk, as they say. And as I've said before, I pass no judgment on people and what they buy and what they like. And so if you're like, hey, doesn't phase me, I'm still going to buy Bob Ross stuff, good for you. Cool. I'll watch some of your flip throughs, I'm sure. But I mean, I'm just saying personally for me, I probably won't. And some people might even return their stuff. I mean, I'm not going to go that far. But like I said, that's cool. I just want to tell y'all what I learned so that you can make an educated decision for yourself. And as far as I'm concerned, that is as far as I'm going to go with it. So, just all kinds of fun info I am passing to y'all today. All right, Bob Ross, color by number, 90 happy little coloring pages. I also like this nice fresh cover. I also like the Thunder Bay press books because you get finished little thumbnails. These are beautiful pictures. Like, if oil painting wasn't such a mess for me personally, just the thought of trying to do like acrylic painting, any type of painting is already suspect with the cats. So I have to do it in small amounts on my desk. And that's always the time they want to show up, when they know they shouldn't. But if I were to try like an easel and try like oil painting or acrylic painting, I can't even imagine like the cats getting into it. I've already had Sidonia get into some stain one time and leave little footprints. I mean, she didn't lick it or eat it or anything, but like she happened to walk across it and like left little footprints. And so I already know paintings not like big paintings not really in my future right now. But anyway, these are just gorgeous. I love that these are color by number versions. I have this one that is watercolor, water activated. That's the other book of his I have. And have I colored in it? No, no, I have not. So this has a fold out palette, which I dig. I love. So easy. Like, I wish Amazon would let them do these types of fold out pages. I love fold out color keys. Alright, so I say all that to show y'all the book. And Bob Ross as a whole was just a totally chill dude. Like I said, his I don't know anything else about his background, but like from a financial aspect, I feel like it's kind of sad, but like for even like what I guess he went through, I'm sure with the passing of his wife and then being sick himself, like I don't know what else he went through in his life, and that's one of the reasons I do want to go watch a documentary or something on him, because I'd like to know, because he always seemed like such an optimist, right? Like just such a chill dude. And I think that's why, see, like, this feels very low key. I love George Tufex's pictures and I love the finished result, but sometimes it can feel a bit overwhelming with all the different little areas that you have to fill in. And I feel like this gives you a similar feel with some of his like landscape pictures without that much detail. Like, that's got some detail in the water, but that's not too bad. I've used markers in these books, the perforated, which I think's cool. I've used markers in these books before and haven't had a problem. So, the paper, it feels relatively smooth. So, I bet softer colored pencils will probably do well in here as well. Man, Summer was late in kicking up here. Normally we're heading into summer weather like the beginning to mid-May, and we're just now getting, the last couple days have genuinely felt warm, and I can tell we're finally shifting because my fibro, of course, the one thing I can't control is the weather, and that's the one thing that pisses it off. Any major seasonal change, in particular, summer to fall and spring to summer, just pisses my body off. Like, it just screams, it throws a tantrum, basically. And thankfully, it didn't do it while I was gone. But when I come back, that's really where we had a significant swing here, and that's where things started warming up. And in the last few days, I just kept, like, I could tell I had a little bit of aches and fatigue from the trip, but like, I had 4 days off, and each day I still felt more tired and more sore. And then at first I was like, is it like a delayed soreness? Like, what's going on here? And then I got up today, and like my back, where I've heard it before, was aching, and it hasn't done that. Heck, I don't even think it did last fall. Hadn't ached like that in a long time. And it just clicked because all during the night I had trouble with temperature regulation, which is another thing that happens. My face and my chest and everything of her body will feel burning up at all times, and my lower half will be cold. And I had a hell of a time trying to sleep last night because I just could not get comfortable. And so this morning it clicked, and I was like, oh, we're doing this again. I don't think the spring to summer is as severe as the one to fall. I feel like that one's more severe, but I can't quite remember. There's a lot of pages in this book, by the way. So yeah, on top of everything, now I'm in the thick of a fibro phase. And basically everything just gets inflamed, and that's why I have like the temperature regulation issue. All my joints get inflamed due to, like, I guess, pressure changes in the weather. And like everything gets super inflamed and pissy and tender, and like the slightest weird movement could set it off for a few days. That's why I was saying thank goodness it didn't do it last week, because all that weird cramming into the flight airplane seat and all those weird movements probably would have really set it off. So I mean, grateful for small things, am I right? So jeez, there are a lot of pages in here. So yeah, dealing with that. And my allergies. Oh my gosh, they were bothering me even in Seattle. All those weird little white fuzzy dandelion things were floating everywhere. I could just look at one and feel my whole head swelling up, like. So I get inflamed everything due to the weather change, and I get inflamed everything due to allergies, and about this time every day I start developing a sinus headache. So grand. So grand. Love that for me. Jeez. You know what it feels like there's I'm never getting through this book. Like, I feel like I'm going pretty quick here. I know I could just say that's enough and close it, but I try to do full flip throughs when it makes sense, just so you can see. Um, so yeah. So yeah, Friday, well, we'll wait to the end. Jeez. Okay. Yeah, we're officially just gonna show a few here. You can get your fill in this book. I'll say it's a heck of a deal for a color by number book. Like, you really get a lot of bang for your buck in terms of pictures. Okay, man, we are almost at an hour. It's a good thing I only did these books and not the others that I had. All right, so Y'all went on a weird journey with me today. We had some highs, we had some lows, we had some rants, we had some controversy. Maybe you learned something today. I don't know. But anyway, Friday, well, I'll give you a sneak peek. So unless something else comes in Friday, y'all will be seeing whoop and whoop. I'm not going to show you both of these, but they came in a package. So those are my Etsy purchases. I think that's all my Etsy stuff. And then I have a big thing from 70 East Books coming, like 4 or 5 books in that. And then I've got some pre-orders on Amazon. I think, isn't a new Lulu Mile book hitting the middle of June? Or is it July? I can't remember, and I'll spend 5 minutes going and looking for it. So yeah, we'll flip through those books on Friday. If I get any others, I don't think I will. Unless somebody else releases something new. I think Joshua Dunbar does have a book planned. I think Hello Summer is coming maybe mid-June. So keep an eye out for that. And yeah, so we'll do the flip throughs on Friday. Sunday will probably be completed pages. I really, I got one buddy color done. I really want to get another one done. And then I'll have my third one in June. That would be nice. We'll see how the weekend goes. So anyway, I'm surviving. I'm here. I'm here surface level. I can't tap into anything too deep because again, that whole closet just kind of tries to follow me when I do that. And that was a disastrous result Sunday. So or Monday, excuse me. So it may be a couple of weeks before I can try a color and chat again. So we'll see. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a decent week. Hopefully for those of you that have kids getting out of school for the summer, hopefully you've got some fun plans. And those of you that don't have kids, like me, hey, it's just summer again. Where's my summer vacation? I actually have end of June is when my brother and I are going to our annual convention we go to. So that'll be like in 3 weeks or something like that. So the cats will love that, I know. So just a couple weeks. I'll be the most traveling I've done in 2 months than in like my entire life. So yay! Well, that's going to be a fun one, so don't want to miss out on that. Alright, guys. I'll be back on Friday, fingers crossed, and hope you have a good rest of the week. Bye for now.